That ain't too shabby. Completely stock Craftsman 3.3. This is the blue sticker version. I've heard some people say it didn't have to have the blue sticker to have the chrome cylinder, but it's been my experience that if it has the blue sticker, it has the chrome cylinder and bare piston, which is the good setup. I think that it definitely needs a carburetor rebuild because of tuning issues. Anyway, it seems like that diaphragm is messing up a little bit. Or it could have a slight air leak. I don't know. It doesn't. I'm not too worried about it, but you know, maybe at some point I will go ahead and dive into it. But it's running pretty darn strong. I don't know how bad it's gonna get beaten by the modified version, but we'll probably go ahead and put this up against the Red Max too and just see how it compares to something like that. But it's still running the same exact RS chain. Whenever I ran this chain, the last time I ran it was on the Wild Thing. And if you watch that video and you can remember me saying that I had taken and put a different clutch setup on the Wild Thing in order to run a 325 sprocket, well, that made in China junk messed up this chain. And so the second run of the Wild Thing, part of the reason why it was so slow on the upcut was, yeah, tuning could have been off a little bit too, but that chain was dragging like crazy because that rim sprocket was garbling up the drivers, and so it was binding in the chain. Well, it's still a good chain, and this is a crappy old bar, so I just ran it until it worked the burrs off and stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, same exact out of the box steel RS chain, and it's rolling smoothly now, right? So, but yeah, good job on the stock Craftsman 3.3. Heck, you know, what did it do that in 9 seconds? I don't know. It did it pretty quick. You know, I know from experience that it did not do it nearly as fast as the Red Max. And if it didn't do it nearly as fast as the Red Max, then it got pretty handily beaten by the modified version of this right here. So, the video will tell us what has happened. So 44% faster. That's big. I mean, it's basically doubled the horsepower. It probably has actually doubled the horsepower, which puts it. I mean, that's completely. I mean, that works out. In the last video, I was stating that it probably, if the if the Thunder Kitten, we have pretty known results of getting about 5.5 horsepower. And if that's the case, then I said that this little Craftsman is probably putting out about 6 horsepower. From the factory, this Craftsman chainsaw probably had about 3 horsepower, maybe slightly more than that, maybe 3.3 or something like that. So yeah, 44% increase in power, and 44% increase in cut speed. So that's pretty impressive. Yeah, very cool. Anyways, so yeah, there's the results. But I gotta say, it didn't do too bad in stock trim. I mean, looking at the times, the Red Max with the muffler mod and opened up intake a little bit, it's probably going to have an average of just over 7 seconds in the cut. And the Craftsman 3.3 stocker had just over 8 seconds, I think. Let me check. About 8.25, 8.28 seconds. So, anyways, I mean, yeah, in a race situation, yeah, it got beat. But in real world situation, what's a second? Anyways, whatever. It's a cool little race and everything. I think we're probably done with these 50cc saws, and it's time to move on to something else. But hopefully you like this video, and we can see how much of a difference it made taking what was a Craftsman 3.3 chainsaw, and we turned it into Black Magic, which is adapting a 346 XP cylinder head to it and heavily modifying that cylinder. So, to be a get-together saw. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. And if you made it this far, crying out loud, hit the like button. If you haven't already done so, subscribe.